Hi guys, and welcome to another vlog. I have the Honda WRV with me and I'm here right now in Lavasa city, and as you can see, this car is one of the best looking Hondas around. So in terms of design, it is nothing but a Jazz which has been given a very masculine front end, but unfortunately this whole new design element robs away the aerodynamics which the Jazz has. So everything seems very bold up front. This chrome grille really makes it stand out, and you can see some mosquitoes got killed while driving on the highway. As you come to the side, you realize that this car isn't very big in terms of dimensions, but does look very attractive. The stance is very masculine, and thankfully it gets wider and bigger wheels, unlike most Honda cars which do with smaller tires. So it gets skid plates, it also gets roof rails, and this chunky body panel all around the body gives it a very SUV-ish appeal, although this isn't an SUV even though it's called a WRV. Now this is the diesel model, and here is where I put the motor beam sticker. So in terms of design, yes, Honda's done a brilliant job, and that is one of the reasons why the WRV is selling in such good numbers. When you step inside, you realize that this is a Jazz because there's plenty of space inside the cabin. So you just need to put your hand inside the front doors handle and it will automatically open the car. So that's keyless go for you. Very roomy cabin. In fact, I've put the seat all the way behind, and still there is plenty of leg room and knee room as well as headroom. So they've scooped out the front seat back, and the floor is completely flat, so you can stretch in complete ease. The seats are quite comfortable. Only gripe is that it doesn't get adjustable headrests at the rear. So a very comfortable rear seat. Easily 3 people can sit here. It also gets a sunroof and plenty of features on offer. So the dashboard is from the Jazz yet again. This piano black touch on the center console, it robs away certain things, like firstly, a lot of fingerprints come there, and the audio system isn't the best around. I'll get to that once I get into the front seat. Let me show you the boot of this car. So it's a decent sized boot. Unfortunately, we can see some sort of rusting here, and the spare wheel, well, that's not an alloy wheel. Surprising, isn't it? That's my tripod. Let's get into the driver's seat. So the driver's seat is extremely comfortable, very good back support, plenty of room all around to move, and it has plenty of features, decently sized glove box. The air conditioning works very well. Let me just start the car. Okay, and shut up. Now this gets a touch panel for the climate control AC. It gets a push button start, and there's a USB, there's HDMI, there's a power outlet here, and if we go here, there's another power outlet as well as a USB port. So a very practical car. There is a coin holder over here, and good amount of space to keep stuff. So big cubby holes. You can keep a 1 liter bottle here, or you can keep a bottle over here, and it's going to get cooled very quickly. Nice and easy to read instrument cluster. It gets this information dial, the multi information display, which is very easy to read. So it tells you average, fuel efficiency, time, odometer reading, trip A, trip B, range, all these things. And obviously, being a Honda, it also has this eco light. So this is blue right now once you start driving, and if you're driving very efficiently, it turns green. The gripe with the touchscreen system is, firstly, unless and until you don't accept this, the system won't work. So right now I will just go in reverse gear. So we got into reverse. It has 3 modes there to see reverse camera, but you still need to accept this, and the touch isn't that fluent. the biggest gripe I have with this car's audio system is the Bluetooth system. Unfortunately, you can't hear much, and it has happened many times when I was trying to talk while driving. I realized that it's not working, so I had to cut the call, stop somewhere, and then actually take the call through my phone and not through the car's Bluetooth system, because clarity is very poor from the Bluetooth system. That said, guys, very well loaded car. In fact, usually Hondas are not very loaded, because especially if you talk about the Jazz, it misses out on a lot of features. This one gets cruise control as well, audio controls on the steering wheel, very nice quality, very well put together, nice glass area, and the audio system's quality in terms of sound output is just about average. It could have been better, considering cheaper cars like the Tata Tiago offer much better audio output. So guys, it's now time to start driving, and I will tell you how it is behind the wheel. Now, as I've turned on the car, you can hear that there's a lot of diesel clatter, and that's because Honda's diesel engines aren't the most refined yet. But before we get to the performance, let me tell you about the two engines which are on offer. So there's a 1.2 liter petrol motor which produces around 88 PS of power and I think around 114 Newton meters of torque. It redlines very well, has a good top end, not the best lower down, and the motor also sounds very nice. It's very refined as well. However, the car I'm driving right now is powered by a diesel engine, and meanwhile you can see a zoom car Jazz right in front and people posing and trying to look all cool. Anyways, coming to the diesel engine, it produces 100 PS of power, 200 Newton meters of torque, and I'm kind of disappointed with this engine. Well, it is efficient, it has good drivability, there's a lot of low end punch, mid-range is also decent, but there's absolutely no top end. Redline comes in very quickly at 4000 RPM, and when it does, it seems like you have hit a wall. It comes in very quickly because this motor is also quite fast revving. The bigger issue is the noise. Once you keep revving this motor, there's a lot of noise which creeps inside the cabin, so you have to turn the music system on, and like I told you before, the audio system isn't the best. It doesn't give a great output. So because of the low power band, you really have to shift gears, and while making overtakes you have to downshift, because like I said, there is no top end in this motor. So climbing a hill, right now I'm in second gear, and as it hits 2500 RPM there is some sort of progress, but the motor gets very noisy, and 4000 RPM, that's where the red line is. Now this car is mated to a 6-speed manual gearbox. The gearbox is very smooth, it has short throws, and the 6th gear helps on the highway in improving fuel economy. So trying to overtake this car now. I'm in 3rd gear doing 40 kilometers per hour, but it's not enough, so need to downshift to 2nd and give it the beans. Here we go. Now this car uses the same chassis as the Jazz. Of course it's based on the Jazz, but there have been changes made because this car is slightly heavier, and also, and most importantly, it gets wider rubber. Ground clearance is quite ample, and it doesn't touch anything, which is a very good thing, because usually Hondas aren't known for good ground clearance. Yes, the ride quality is on the stiffer side, but it's quite compliant over bad roads, although it could do with slightly better composure at higher speeds. What I really like about Honda cars is the steering. It is so well weighed, it gives plenty of feel and feedback, which means that you can throw this car around corners. Yes, there is body roll, but more than the body roll, it is how well this car drives, even though it is positioned as a sort of a crossover or probably an SUV. Now again, I'm in 3rd gear and there is absolutely no go from this motor. Okay, now I need to get into 1st, and the noise. Here we go. Come on, Polo, move out of my way. As you can see, I'm finding it troublesome to actually get past the Polo, because this motor, even with 100 PS, doesn't have the same zest as say the Figo or the Aspire twins, which have a lot more torque on offer, precisely 15 Newton meters more. Easy to flick this car around corners, very responsive. Here we go now. This car does come with dual airbags. It also gets ABS, and braking power is very sure-footed. It does stop in its line without much effort. So yes, overall the dynamics as well as the performance is good, although not really wow in terms of engine power from the diesel motor, the Earth Dreams diesel motor. So if I have to conclude, I would say that the Honda WRV is definitely a very good car to buy. Yes, I like the Jazz more, but the Jazz misses out on certain equipment. While it is more fun to drive the Jazz, definitely. The advantage of the Jazz is that because of the very short hood, it is so much easier to maneuver through city traffic, because you know, you can just cut across. It's like, you know, you've seen people who drive Omnis, right? And what they do, they're able to judge the exact spot very easily because they sit at a place where they can see everything. And same is the case with the Jazz. With the WRV, it's almost similar. Once you get used to it, you'll just love driving this car. And because of the more appealing looks and the added features, it makes WRV a very interesting package. Yes, it is on the expensive side when you compare it to the Ford EcoSport, which is by far the best car in the compact SUV segment, and the Tata Nexon, which is the best value for money offering in the segment. That said, guys, if you're looking to buy a diesel Honda, I would suggest that you have to get used to the noise. You have to get used to shifting down frequently, because this this engine doesn't have much punch on the top end, and usually diesel engines don't have much punch in the top end. But somehow I've been driving the Figo and the Aspire, and I'm completely in love with the engine. It is so punchy, even though the drivability is spot on. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do give it the thumbs up button, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next one.